Yellow. Now, to be clear, it is common knowledge that most MMA fighters do lift weights as part of their regimen. Having a weight training regimen, when done correctly, can have a positive impact on overall performance, but the human body must be thought of as an instrument. The same way finesse with a violin takes time and dedication, dancing is the same. Efficiently executing technique is the same. Large muscles can be a catalyst to your technique, but overall, encoding good body mechanics to effectively leverage your weight and anatomy, that is core. Thus, taking into consideration how you're building your muscles, that is what's important, because it's not just the muscle that gets bigger when you lift. You're also training your nerves and encoding your cerebellum to communicate with those nerves. You, in essence, are building a habit into your body and mind. You literally become the techniques you train. This also explains why boxers have rolled over shoulders from their constant contractions from the boxer's muscle anterior serratus, why judokas have fingers always curled and ready to grip from constantly pulling on gi. You become a physical manifestation of what you constantly do. That said, when a bodybuilder fights, you can feel it right away. It's so obvious to anyone who actually trains or has trained. Their motions look exactly like the motions they use to stimulate the hypertrophy response. Limited range of motion, not a lot of depth expressed in their brain-muscle communication, thus inefficient kinetic linking, thus poor body mechanics. Overall, powerlifters make better transition into martial arts than bodybuilders because they have a better emphasis on explosive body mechanics, whereas the time of retention, the emphasis on simply stimulating the muscle without taking into consideration the nerves and brain communication, it's reducing that muscle's range of awareness. Limited motions make for limited brain-muscle communication, which ends up creating stiff and/or poor technique. The physics of good technique includes the whole body working in harmony, not trying to fire mad gains off your tricep. George St. Pierre, with insight from one of the most respected coaches in MMA, Faraz Zahabi, found a way of training around this. Gymnastics. One of the most difficult disciplines one could train. It not only increases explosiveness, but also increases your body's range of brain-muscle communication. He has gained more finesse with his overall body. The result? With a greater range of brain-muscle communication. Now, tasks that are difficult but still simpler than gymnastics, they have been given a physical catalyst. George St. Pierre, one of the most dominant wrestlers of all time, to this day recognized as the greatest welterweight of all time. He has an explosive shoot whilst never initially having a background in wrestling. He actually started with point-style karate. This is why martial artists call George an athlete. He compensates for experience in a discipline with a physical advantage. Now, one inherent advantage bodybuilders have is fear. In Robert's first fight, he actually won this match because his opponent was afraid of him. His opponent refused to engage at all. He ran the entire fight, did not throw a strike. He was truly terrified of Robert. This is one of the reasons why many men do bodybuild. It is a respectable discipline after all that does do wonders for mental health. It is cheap therapy, but also the large muscular physique naturally commands respect. It's not for functional purposes, but instead the more dominant image. Robert appears to be gassing from chasing his opponent despite barely throwing any strikes. But when Robert did get his hands on him, his opponent completely panics, basically forfeiting the match in fear. Shelling up and giving up after the first shot, connected despite still being conscious. Pure frontal lobe shutdown. He gave up mentally before he gave up physically. His opponent here though, the rapper Popek, he's pretty muscular, but off the bat, in his movements you can tell he has a better understanding of what he has to do. Much lighter on his feet, adjusting his position with his feet together, and notice how he rolls into a shot. It's fast, which is natural when you have good, relaxed technique. Popek's body has trained how to properly roll into a shot opposed to pumping mad gains into a single limb. Overhand as he circles out. This, overall, was not a fair fight. He cannot keep Popek from striking with sheer strength or defend the takedowns because his body does not have the range of awareness to keep balance in certain positions. He can't get the footing in certain places because his brain-muscle communication doesn't have the awareness to. He is strong in some places, but the moment he gets past a certain range, he doesn't have the nerves communicating with the brain in a way that helps him retain his footing. Thus, he topples over. The rapper Popek, he trained his body to know what to do. Robert, on the other hand, did not have the same experience. Now again, weight training is not bad. Large muscles are not bad. It is all a matter of how you're training those muscles. Often, we look at the surface and think just because one person looks similar to another, there must be similarities between the two. That is surface level thinking, the act of judging a book by its cover. Us humans can only be understood through time, for the surface only glints a small portion of the infinite levels comprising the individual. The surface may give us clues when we take a closer glance, but even then, the depth and complexity each one of us has cannot be encompassed by a single glance. For you, as your condition changes and evolves, you too are as infinite as the cosmos itself. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.